Great.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Now, I know normally it's a faux pas to date these videos and stuff, but I mean, I think we're going to date it anyway.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
You go to hell, Pep. Not for 2 more months.
Horror.
And
Horror.
happy Halloween, everyone.
Yes, happy Halloweens.
Mm-hmm.
By the time this goes up on YouTube, it might be Christmas.
It might be.
We don't get our shit together.
No, we're catching up. We're catching up. It'll probably be a few weeks still, though.
All right.
So
Anywho,
Christmas, yes.
Yes. But for Halloween, well, first of all, let's go. You guys want to do art first?
yes, art first.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have many. We have 2, but they are fantastically fabulous.
Oh my, so many Fs are throwing around all
know,
over the
right?
place.
These are both from Jade. I'm not sure exactly what she wants to go by, so I'm just gonna go.
Honey Jade.
Honey Jade. These are from Honey Jade. Now,
We're homies.
Honey Jade recently told us that because of this campaign, she started doing riffs herself, which we always love when our campaign promotes people to do, because we all love pen and paper because it's so amazing, and to encourage other people to do it. So this is a fan art of if Al met her character. And it's fantastically done, and I like that I may be a little biased here, but I think it captures Al fairly well.
Yep, me too.
Cue about 30 seconds before he starts being optimistically highly moral.
The only thing is that I think even if she had, like, I know she's shot, but even if she got a paper clip, Al would be like, "Are you okay? I have to check you. I have to run everything.
Are you all right?
That
I'm a doctor."
paper could have had bacteria on it.
So now I know that you're healed. Have you tried joining the cult of Tiny Rat?
But it was
Our Lord and Savior.
incredibly well done. And there's another one from her, which is her character and Mila in Halloween costumes.
Mao.
Mao.
It's super fucking cute.
It is.
So, yay! And we have one more surprise or special because of Halloween.
Halloween.
We have a creepypasta made especially for you guys. And
We
and
did.
for you guys too, Criana, Piff, and Burn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I
Let's
wrote
get
it,
that
or
already.
did I find it because it's a true story?
A very special Halloween creepypasta.
Oh, jeez.
The following story is a true fact and not made up. It was found in the diary of a college student who died before it was ever written. I'm going to tell you about what happened to me that was so scary. If you don't believe me, then just read until the end, and you will believe me good. I used to pally riffs with my friends, and we all would laugh and sing and have fun.
Okay, I'm gonna be the one who says it. Your mic's messing up again.
Sorry.
I could understand it, but maybe I'm a savant at like hearing that. I couldn't tell.
I was gonna say I wrote most of it, and there were parts I didn't understand.
Wait,
Give me a second. Let me restart this, and maybe that'll clear it up.
Yeah, because we tried it earlier and it was perfect. So, but quick, Piff, dance.
Pip,
Can-
do it faster! Hurry!
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you.
how do I sound now?
Much
Oh.
better.
Yes, very good.
Yes. Wow.
Good. Good. Now, for all of you who thought they heard the beginning of the story, I will erase your mind with my demonic energy. Whoosh! Now, a very special Halloween creepypasta. The following story is a true fact and not made up. It was found in the diary of a college student who died before it was ever written. I'm going to tell you, about what happened to me that was so scary. If you don't believe me, then just read till the end and you will believe me good. I used to pally riffs with my friends, and we all would laugh and sing and have fun. But then one day, Riffs came out with a book that was new, and I wanted to buy it so we could play it first ever. But oh no! When I got to the store, the owner said that they were all sold out of the Riffs book that was new, but I was really sad. Then the owner rubbed his hands against. It was was old. He was old, and he creeped me out. What good? But he asked me if I wanted a Rifts book that no one knew about. He said that Palladium only ever released many because people complained that strange things happened to those same people who used the books. The old man said that the books had all been burned, but that he had kept one. I was really happy, and did not believe in the stories that people were saying about the books. He showed it to me, and it had a solid black cover with 2 red glowing eyes, and it was called Rifts, Buy and Die. I felt a little nervous, but instead laughed much, saying, "Oh, that's silly. I'm not scared of what books say to me on cover." So I bought anyway, and take the book back to my friends. They were so jealous that I was the holder of a Rifts book that they had not held before. I told them that I would read the book, and then I would GM a game with them real good. That night, I started to read the book alone in my room with the lights off. At first, book was really good, and I had good time a lot. But then, I noticed something strange in one of the pictures of the book. There was a juicer who looked neat, but something was on their shoulder. I more closer looked at picture, and saw that a tiny lizard man in a black robe was chewing on the juicer's ear. "That's strange," I say to myself out loud. "I wonder what monster is that?" So I looked for name of monster that chewed on the ear and found that it was named Tinywrath. But odd was only that all the descriptions say about the monster was, "You have seen me, and now I can see you." I laughed nervously to myself, thinking, what odd thing to say in a book. I tried to forget about the Tinywrath, but my eyes kept drawing to the pictures in the book. I began to notice that Tinywrath was in every picture, in every page, always the same. He would be chewing on the ear of mortals, and I began to grow uncalm. I realized slowly something that really made me sweat. In every picture, Tinywrath looked like he was staring at me. I started flipping through all pages, looking at all pictures, and it was always same. Finally, on the last page of the book, there was big drawing. It was Tinywrath, standing there staring at me with an ear in his mouth, dripping blood in drops. I get scared all over and slam the book closed and throw it across the room. That night, I go to bed trying to tell me that it is just a silly book, but not convinced. When I wake up next morning, I feel warm wet on the side of my head.
Ugh.
I touch wet.
Oh, I just made I'm sorry, Satan. I just made a noise. Sorry.
I touch wet with my hand and look at it. It is wet blood and warm, and my ear is not here. Screaming, I went to the book and opened it. Every page now has same drawing on it. Tinywrath is standing there, but now he is staring at me, and it is my ear in my mouth. But the scariest part is that I am you, and my ear is your ear, and now you are all covered in blood. Tell story to 5 friends or same will happen to you.
Wow. Was that written by Squee?
That who'd have thought?
What? Maybe it's a true story. Did you ever think of that?
It has some very similar
Style.
pacing. Yeah.
A stamp, one might say.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I was terrified.
Satan is really understanding, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting him. I hope he didn't mind.
Well, see, the problem is that he has to play really cool because this is his favorite time of year.
Right.
Also, I mean, it's really hard to get people's souls if you're really abrasive and standoffish.
Yeah, it's true. I got that. I get that. Yeah.
Also, I now want a Rift's book that's just pictures of Tiny Wrath chewing on people's ears.
I don't. Do you see what happened? My ear was your ear.
No, I
and
have to
his
send
blood.
this story to 5 friends. Do you think I have that many friends?
I don't know. There's only 4 of us here, Criana. I think
Yeah,
you're kind
fucked is what I'm trying to tell you guys.
You gotta make another friend quick.
Everybody see that movie Chain Letter? Dex was here. If you don't do it, Tiny Wrath will chew your ear, and then you'll die, and then blood.
All right. So we good to actually play the game, or are we all too scared?
I think we'll muddle through.
Okay. All right. Let's just fucking balls up.
This is scary.
Gotta get more candy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me just shove this candy in my face.
I just shove this up my ass. Perfect.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa! I was saying eating them, but
Listen,
okay.
it looks like a suppository. Maybe it acts like one. Jesus, guys, calm down.
Well,
That is
Wow.
a cute
Here
sweetheart.
goes our friend Criana, shoving things up her pooper again. Oh, Criana, when will you ever learn?
Don't put it in your ass.
A heartwarming, innocent song. I feel like Criana, I feel ya. That I do not. Actually, I can you give me like 1 minute?
Sure.
I forgot to feed my cat.
You don't want your,
Don't do that.
you don't want your cat to become a spooky skeleton. I understand.
She is
You don't-
staring at me.
you don't want Lena to unleash the dragon slave.
What?
Don't you
Nerd. Don't you stop it in your butt.
Actually, my first thought was, what in the butt?
Oh God.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
All right, gives me a chance to open up my notes and shit.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hello, chat.
Hello.
Hello.
Doing good?
Yeah, I guess.
You got some candy?
Yeah, some sweets. Just a little bit of chocolate, maybe.
Okay. Spoopy to poopy. That's how we do.
It went from spoopy to poopy really fast.
Yep.
I'm not sorry.
You shouldn't be.
Dun dun.
Chun chun.
Oh boy. All right.
Little boy
So,
indeed.
how do we want to? Do we want to just give Hannibal a dream shroom and
Yeah.
just let him have fun?
I honestly,
Plan.
I'm all for the dream shroom because I don't want to have to
Okay.
cut my sedative.
Yeah.
It might murder him.
Yes, it might.
Yeah, it very well might, and I don't think Tom would ever forgive you. So there's that too.
Yeah.
There's that. The lack of forgiveness.
There's gonna be a day where Hannibal's gonna get seriously hurt, and Al's about to do surgery to save his life, and he's gonna look up, and Tom's just gonna be staring at him.
You better not fuck up, Al.
Oh, okay.
You better not.
Here's another thing that I can do while we're just waiting here real quick. I made this, and I don't know if I shared this with you guys. I made a special document detailing the features of the Twilight Covenant. Did you guys ever get that?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. I did share that with you.
The different shops and things?
No,
No,
not
no.
the different shops.
The ship.
The Twilight Covenant is our ship.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah. So, like the drives and how fast it goes and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Did you eat your cat?
big-
Yeah,
Okay.
Good.
big time.
What, did you like shove it down her throat?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so shall we begin?
I think so.
Great. So we shall. Wonderful. Well, when we last left off, the group, don't worry, Mila was there. She unfortunately fell asleep during the most exciting events, but regardless, we're starting now. We're starting this session here at the Bright Little Stars. We'll say about an hour or so after the main event, the robbery, or at least I could say the attempted robbery. as things are slowly starting getting towards normalcy. Of course, Vadpo still has a huge bruise covering half her face, but for the most part, the person who was stabbed quite violently has made an amazing recovery thanks to Al's magic, which they don't really know about. They just thought it was some sort of power or some sort of nanites, as Al explained to them. But I guess the big question is what the group plans on doing next. Let me just see if I can't remember a lot of this, okay? So first things first, the concern was trying to get Hannibal onto the Twilight Covenant. And the belief was just to knock the pup out unconsciously and to make him a lot easier to transport. So you could hide him somewhere, he wouldn't bark or cause any sort of attention. So if I'm correct, you guys are going to use one of the dream mushrooms that you had in order to make him go to Doggy Dreamland. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. In addition, you guys know you're going to be going on the Twilight Covenant, of course. And so you want to get that supplied, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when it was left into your care, Stephen Ward, your boss, for lack of a better word, made sure the ship was topped up on fuel, right? But you guys still need to worry about getting your hands on food and other miscellaneous supplies, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll have to deal with that as well. In addition, I believe you guys also want to touch base with Scyther, because he said, it's been about 2 or 3 days now, that he would, actually definitely 3 days, that he would keep an ear out and give you some information regarding who tried to steal your stuff. That's correct as well, all right?
Yes.
And you also want to touch base with August and confirm that he wants to come along with you on your latest excursion, or give him the choice to stay here on Outcast Station, estranged from the rest of the group, for what might be a period of months, possibly. Right?
Right.
Great. And then also you're waiting for Tyrath to reappear and let you know what he desires. So, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if it's okay by you guys, I can probably nail down all those things. Well, maybe not the Tyrath part, but for the most of those, kind of more in a narrative way, right? Where we just talk about it and maybe just do some little mini role playing, if that's okay by you.
Mm-hmm. I'm absolutely fine with that, yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I think probably the most time-consuming part would be, of course, getting supplies for your ship, right? Mm-hmm. So what we're looking for? We're looking for food, correct? Mm-hmm. What else are you guys looking to get for it, to get ready for your journey?
Showering chemical.
Okay. Okay. All right. Interesting. Anything else?
With the food, is it already pre-cooked? Is there a kitchen?
No, there is no kitchen because you guys spent quite a bit of time on the Twilight Covenant. Mm-hmm. There is no kitchen there whatsoever. So all food would have to be eaten raw.
Okay.
Raw, or it would be pre-consumed, right? Yeah. That's the interesting thing about actually pretty much everyone on space is a vegetarian because that's all really grows hydroponically, right? So there's no need to worry about cooking meat or anything like that. Yeah. Of course, dishes are prepared using heat and whatnot to add some spice and some flavor to it, right? Mm-hmm. But that's not the big concern. Of course, the big concern is preservation of food, right? But we can get to that.
All right. I think a couple of things on top of my head that we might want to look for is we might want to see if there's like a microwave type thing maybe that we could use to cook vegetables, something like that. Also, things like mattresses, blankets, things to sleep on, because I know that there's rooms, but I don't know if the rooms have anything more than like a steel slab.
I'm pretty sure they're fully furnished. The rooms.
Not fully furnished. They were pretty Spartan, honestly. Stephen Ward did not have a lot of money before. He spent a lot of his money on his excursion trying to get back on his feet and the push to get his old ship back. So the Twilight Covenant, due to it not even having an anti-gravity installation just yet, but because it doesn't have an anti-grav thing on it, the rooms themselves, the 6 rooms with the bunk beds in them each.
Yeah.
I believe when I described it, it was the bunk beds. They were fine enough mattresses in which you would need to strap yourself in, right? They're actually closer to almost like astronaut beds in a way, right? Mm-hmm. And then there was also a large metal kind of container used for storage where a variety of items could be strapped down and contained without floating away. But that's all the rooms have. No great decorations, no anemones? Yeah, anemones or anything fancy like that. Very, very different from the time you spent on Baron Dioxin's ship, The Inside Joke.
Okay.
Would the group be okay if if we have the time? I wouldn't mind, or Al wouldn't mind, looking for... Obviously, medical supplies are hard to come by because the hospital is under gang control. And he'd probably rather avoid that. But there are things that can be medical that aren't seen as medical. Like, for example, clean cloth that can be used for bandages. So maybe clean clothes or new cloth, or alcohol that can be used to disinfect. Things like that. Things that he could find that aren't typically medical equipment, but he could jerry-rig to use as medical equipment.
As long as you keep in mind that the cloth will all be synthetic, yeah, we can definitely do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously it's not the best, but synthetics will still stop blood, so...
Yeah, it will. It will.
All right, so you're looking for spare polyweave fabrics and alcohol as well?
Yeah, the thoughts that came to mind, of course, I'm not a doctor, so I'm sure there's tons I don't know about. But it would be that kind of fabric, alcohol, maybe some sort of plastic tubing that could be used in the pinch as an IV line.
Okay.
Maybe plastic jugs, that kind of thing. And then, like I said, I don't know. I'm sure there's tons of things that can be used, but I just don't know that much about it.
I don't know either, Squeeze, so I'm going to just have to go with the stuff that you're suggesting to me.
That's fine.
If that's okay by you. Because I'm really uncomfortable just saying genetic medical-like supplies but aren't medical. You know what I mean? That's too weird for me. So, all right. So I'm going to say, with the assistance of Siren, your guide, your fine guide, he will escort you and get you in contact with individuals, whether they're very few of these actually individuals that you're going to be contacting, very few of them actually run businesses. It's more of a guy that knows a guy who can get this stuff for you. The only exception to this is when you need to get food. Food, at least large quantities for food for long space travel, is pretty much run by the Solar Rogues, which is pretty much the biggest gang or biggest organization here on Outcast Station. They deal with the major imports and exports, right, including food. Of course, food does come in through other ways, but Simon says it's not really stable, and frankly, the quality of the food and even the safety of the food fluctuates. The Solar Rogues are pretty much the ones who can get have the best quality stuff. Here's the tricky thing in regards to food. Outcast Station is an importer of food. They're very basic. Even though it's vast, it's not very vast compared to what a space station really requires. Plus the waste and the transient traffic that happens means Outcast Station is an importer of food completely, which means supply is low. Now, that's not to say that you can't get any food. The problem is that you guys here on Outcast Station will have to pay a premium for it. Pretty much, Sinan puts you in contact with a fellow that works for the Solar Rogues, and pretty much you have to pay for the privilege. It's almost like an auction in a way. We have this X amount of food, bidding starts and the highest bidder gets to have it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like a storefront. So what I need to know, and this is important, I would recommend that you guys would write this down somewhere in your group loot so you can keep track, is I want to know how many days worth of food for, we're going to say what's comfortable for the, oh yeah, I'm going to just say this right now, August is planning on coming with you. If he's fine staying on Outcast for a day or two by himself, he can lock himself in, but he can't go on for months without any sort of support. He's not crazy, right?
Okay.
So I want to know how many days of food, and we're going to assume you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Would it make sense that you guys would get enough for 8 persons in case of an emergency or something like that?
Let's bump it up to 9.
Oh, because Hannibal. Okay, all right. So I need to know how many days of food you guys want to get for 9 people.
I love erring on the side of caution when it comes to things vital like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the speed our ship goes at, it could be, I would say, guys, at least a few weeks of food, at least. Because if our ship breaks down or whatnot, you know?
Okay, so 2 weeks?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, 14 days is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
14 days, and let's bump it up to 10 people. Because there is also Hannibal, and I'm hopefully going to be trying to recruit Blink to the group, so we would have an extra person.
Okay. Okay. So, let me just get ye olde calculator out. Two weeks, 10 days of food. I would like someone, now this is kind of simulating the auction.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like someone to roll me a D100, please.
Who wants to do it?
Oh,
Hey.
good job, Tiny Wrath. Or Criana, in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Or Mila, or whomever. 5,000 ice. It requires. What did you say?
I said don't ruin the illusion.
Okay. Well, then you got the Tiny Wrath has got to get the fuck out of this game. Anyways, it will cost 5,000 ice. Which is, if you think about it, spending $5,000 for 2 weeks worth of food for 10 people, that's pretty exorbitant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just to give you, I'm not going to go into big details, right? But try just give you guys a little bit of flavor of some of the foods that you would get, right? You get stuff like bush plums, angel olives, dream cashews that can be preserved for quite some time. Some cakes and puddings that are kind of a dry cake, so they don't require a lot of moisture. A lot of dried pineapple and nutmeg. Things in that sort. Okay?
Yeah.
And even perhaps a few pickle items, right? Like pickled peaches or pickled asparagus or similar fruits and veggies. Okay? So that's your food out of the way. All right? Sign-in also gets you in contact with, now this is definitely with individuals to get these associated supplies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to assume as far as the chemicals go, like the showering chemicals, we'll say you have enough to keep everyone clean and hygienic for the same 2 weeks. That chemical itself is cheaper than the food. That only costs about 500 ice, 500 IOUs. And that's because that's seen as a luxury item that a lot of freebooters take, but not a lot of people on Outcast Station need. So there tends to be a little bit more quantities of that good. Okay? In addition, alcohol I'm going to just take the initiative here and with quantities here. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going to say. Actually, Al, I want you to give me actually, anyone who has chemistry, I'd like you to give me a chemistry check, please.
Sure. Also, if you are willing, I've been quickly looking up those kind of items, so I have actually a list.
Okay, if you're gonna give me a list, though, I need to know quantities.
Absolutely.
So
let me
I'm
roll you
guessing
the
quantities.
thing first. Let's do this one first. There we go. Succeeded by 31.
Okay, how about you, Patrick?
I have failed by 34.
Okay, so it's pretty even. All right. So you're able to determine out of the larger quantities of booze that you guys can get that something called gin blossom. You could probably just filter out the gin from the flavor additive, and it would be a pretty high concentration of alcohol used for medicine or or recreation.
Medicine of the soul. All right. Okay. Yeah. I have. I'll keep it kind of short, but I have a list of some rather more interesting items that I'd like to see if they would have, and I can give you quantities for it.
Yep.
For a few ones off the top, of course, I said the fabric of some kind.
Let's just go.
Okay.
Top to bottom.
A
all
duct
right?
tape
I'll
type-
I'll let you know quantities.
Sure.
I'll let you know what they have and the price.
Okay. A duct tape type item.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there is anything like duct tape doesn't quite work out in space. The adhesive isn't strong enough. You would need wires or bands or something like that.
Okay. Salt.
Salt comes from salt mines. Of course, it could be drilled out of other environments. Give me a moment. No. No, not you can't. Siren. Siren. Sorry, I keep calling him Siren. Siren. No, his name is Siren, and I keep calling him Siren. Fuck. Anyways, fucking Inferno. Get your names of your NPCs right. Siren kind of looks at you blankly and says, "I don't know what that substance is."
Okay. All right. Neat. Some form of super glue.
We have a polymer super adhesive, if that's what you mean.
Is that sign-in? Would you know? Is that safe to touch with skin?
No.
Okay.
He's like, that's what you used if you want to put stuff that will never let go unless you get a special solvent for it. But it is really recommended not to touch skin against it.
Yeah, I understand. Bleach, and then he'll say, like something used to clean, a chemical for cleaning floors and...
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cleaning chemicals? Sure, I can get you in touch with someone.
I could use some of that. We're going to just go ahead and pass honey, because I don't think that's a thing.
That comes from bees.
Yeah.
You see any fucking bees?
Space beast. God, that'd be the worst.
Baking soda?
What chemical makes up baking soda? Baking soda. It is sodium bicarbonate. Yep, they have sodium bicarbonate.
Okay. And we're just gonna go with that for now. He would ask, is there any sort of, oh, no, I'm sorry. And then some sort of, like, saran wrap type plastic.
No. Plastic sheets, preservative plastic sheets that come in something that thin. Roll me another D100.
Sure.
Cyan takes you to a guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he shows you something that is kind of similar, but it has so many holes in it, it's not going to be useful at all.
Got it. All right, well,
He tries to sell it to you for 5 ice.
Al shakes his head, and then to
Okay.
himself, starts to understand how dire the situation is on the station.
So did you mark down what was yes and what was no?
Well,
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Okay,
We
great.
have
'Cause I need to know
cleaning
quantities before I give you
Right.
a price.
Yeah. We have cleaning solvents, we have alcohol, we have baking soda, and we have cloth.
Okay.
And that is it.
Okay, great. So give me quantities of each, and I'll give you a price.
For cleaning solvents, just a jug is fine because he'd be diluting it a lot anyway. So just a
100
small-
ice.
Okay. As far as alcohol, several bottles worth.
Bottles. Okay, we'll say they're gallon bottles. I was going to say liters. I'm like, wait, I'm dealing with Americans. Gallon bottles, we'll say. That can hold about a gallon's worth. Several. You got to give me something
Let's say
worth.
5.
Let's say
Five?
five.
We'll say
Okay,
five.
We'll say five.
All right. Okay.
5 1 gallon.
5 of the gin blossom. Okay, that will cost you 150.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Nice.
I'm writing all this down, by the way.
I appreciate it. And then the
Okay.
clean fabric.
Okay.
And then for
How
that, like
You want to go by yards or
yeah,
feet
yeah,
or
yeah.
something?
Let's say 5 yards.
5 yards. You would get that straight from the Broken Monkey. And it's not very fancy stuff either, right? So they probably have a bunch of scraps or really, well, not scraps, I guess I could say, but fuck it. I don't need to describe it for you. I just need to give you a price. 70 ice.
Okay. 70 ice. All right. Then the other ones that would be some sort of plastic tubing, preferably clear. Though that seems to be medical, so any kind of plastic tubing would work. And needles of some kind if they have them. Needles with holes in them, like you know what I mean. Needles like to inject air or liquids or something like that.
All syringe needles are controlled by the hospital, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's not to say you couldn't make something similar out of small scraps of metal with, I don't know, someone who is a good engineer. I don't know where you're going to find one of those guys. But as far as the tubing goes, let's go with feet of tubing, please.
Okay. 5 feet of tubing.
Oh, 5 feet of tubing?
Yeah.
You managed to find some clear stuff for 20 ice.
Okay. And then the only thing I would ask is the food we got that they offered, the vegetables. There are there things like onions or peppers or
Why? What in particular? Like, are you looking for
He's going-
specifically onions
yes,
or peppers?
He's going to basically soak them to leach the salt out of them.
Okay.
Because like basically his thought process is the human body can't survive without salt, so they have to be getting it from somewhere, so it has to be the food.
Yes. Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There are onions, but there's not a whole lot of salt. Like, there's small amounts, right? They're definitely onions. But you're going to have to buy another 2 persons worth of food in order to get, like, we'll say, like, 50 grams of salt or something
Oh,
like that.
I won't need that much. He's not going to try and make salt. He's going to make saline. So just kind of like slightly salty water, like they.
Okay,
yeah.
well, we'll do chemistry checks when the time comes.
Okay, sure. Just as many onions as he can feasibly get without being a big hassle.
I declare
Mm-hmm.
33 bags of baking soda.
Okay, 33 bags of baking soda.
33 bags of baking soda, indeed.
That's a lot. We're going to say, for the sake of simplicity, they're small bags, so you
Okay.
guys don't have a
That's
thousand of them.
fantastic.
bag.
They're mostly just
They
used
are-
for indigestion, but yeah.
Yeah.
They are about 5 grams each.
Okay, great. 5 whole gram bags of 33. All right.
Oh, you're so cute.
So, I'm going to say the baking soda is going to be 200 ice.
Okay.
And 2
As
bags
for
of
the
onions, we'll
onion-
say. Yeah. Like 2
bags of onions.
Like what you would find at a grocery store.
1,000 IOU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
1,000 IOU.
Is the group okay with this expenditure?
Sure.
I don't care.
Right. Pifferkins?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Aye.
Okay. Is there any? We need 12 blankets.
Blankets?
Yes. For the
See, now
ship.
this is the interesting thing about space blankets. You know those those
they're-
stereotypical shimmery ones? You know those
They're all
ones.
blankets.
Those are blankets. They trap and heat actually very effectively, right?
Yeah, they're great.
Yes. Now here's the thing, Burn. I would like you to roll me a D100, please.
Okay. 28.
Oh, good. You're very lucky. Sign-in has to go to 3 separate contacts, but you're able to get all 12.
Okay.
And those are going to cost you guys altogether about 500 IOU.
Everybody fine with that?
How much are you?
Yeah, sorry, I'm good.
500.
500? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, So how's that for supplies now for your ship? Are we all good?
I think we are all good. Is there anything else that anybody else can think of at all? Everybody's muted again.
Yeah. So that we're going to
Okay.
assume the default is silence.
I'm still
no.
trying to get used to this because, confession time. I always mute myself on Skype, but Skype has a little button in the upper right-hand corner. I can just quickly unmute myself. I don't have that luxury. I have to quick tab back over.
If you are on that tab and you have clicked it the last time, you can press spacebar and it mutes you.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I will say,
I
if you guys could be a little bit, because I have to hit 2 mute buttons. So yeah.
Oh
so
my
it takes
God,
me a bit more
double
time.
mute.
Yeah, because I got to mute stream and mic. I got
Well,
to mute the
I'll
mic
be-
for stream and for this.
Plus
Yeah.
100.
But no, I
I'll
can't
be
think of anything at the
patient
moment.
and happy.
I think we're
Okay.
good. Oh my God! Did we have grav generators installed?
No, we didn't.
No, not yet.
Because
You still have 4 days to get to Freedom Station to
Yeah.
get that signed up. Also, within 4 days, if you don't show up, Stephen Ward's going to assume you stole his fucking ship.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to have a talk with Alicia because that means that's a couple days she's gonna have to either stay here or deal with it.
Alicia, come on. Alicia can deal with it.
I'm not saying she can't. I'm just saying it'd be rude not to at least give her a heads up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
right,
So,
so
now that we have the shopping out of the way,
Yeah.
I say let's break up some of this narrative talk with a little bit of RP. So I'm going to kind of set the scene here a little bit. So August, when you guys come back from arranging a lot of the stuff to get to the Twilight Covenant, okay. August lets you know that he actually has been in contact with Scyther, and that the network, the company that he works for, and of course Baron Dioxin runs, has reached out to him on the link and has set up what he believes is a pretty secure line of communication between him and Scyther. And Scyther has actually left a data message for him communicating an update on the on what has happened to your stolen goods. And the message reads as thus. Hey guys, I've done some looking around and I found out a few things that I thought I'd pass on to you. Where you were robbed seems to be a part of the ever-shifting stomping grounds of a group called the Orbital Hoods, and they're run by a female mutant called Coyote. In addition, the Hoods' main tactic, what they're really known for, is something called gassing and grabbing, which is pretty consistent to what happened to you. There is a small problem, though. The Orbital Hoods have permission to operate an Outcast station from the Solar Rogues themselves, And since the Solar Rogues are the biggest and most influential group here on Outcast Station, they got a little bit of protection. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if a portion of what was robbed from you was kicked up to the Solar Rogues as a thank you for using their station. Another thing on Rev Fortune Fontaine. He isn't known to have any links to either the Solar Rogues or the Orbital Hoods, so it's unlikely that he purposefully let slip your information, although the network is aware of him, and we know that he isn't stupid he's not sloppy. So he runs that little booth of his in the Sunfly Lounge as his own little throne. And frankly, the only way people are able to eavesdrop on him and his clients is if they got one on him, like if they got something over on him, right? Which they got something under his radar, which is possible, but pretty unlikely, or he just let it happen. Now, your ice might be gone, good as gone already, but that doesn't mean that similar funds couldn't be recovered from the Orbital Hoods if the proper opportunity presents itself. As I mentioned before to you, they are a professional outfit. They probably have their own fences, they probably got people they can trust, but you know what? Good thing about Outcast Station is that things have a tendency to overlap out here. And I'm pretty confident that some of these similar links between us and them can be found. I'm still looking into things, but I do have a bit of good news. Word on the street is that Freakman has acquired a new hammer, one with strange bones and designs on it. So I suggest you check out his place, and if it's yours, try to get it back. But word to the wise, okay? Freakman is a very good friend of ours, so don't steal it from him, and for the love of God, don't try to hurt him, all right? You'll probably have to buy it back from him unless you and he can come up with some sort of arrangement. But don't worry, okay? Whatever cost is incurred, we'll add it to what the orbital hoods owe us once we finally track them down. And August says that's the end of his message.
Well, the honest truth is we don't have the time to go trying to take on a gang that's in the good graces of the biggest gang in the station. But we might be able to at least go get Mila's hammer back.
Well,
Yes. My name is Mila.
we only have a day left before our docking fee is done.
No, you guys paid for 3 days.
Yeah, but we were 3 days late, so we only have 24 hours, is what they said.
No, I thought we paid that and then paid for an extra 3 days.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You paid for the 2 days owing, and then Squee wanted, just another 1 day, and he's like, the shortest we have here is 3 days, and you're like, oh, fine, we'll get it, just in case. It's better for us to overpay. So you have 3 days in the dock.
Then we have 72 hours.
I thought someone said my name, but my name's Mila. Al, did you say my name?
Yes, we're thinking about trying to get your hammer back.
You found my hammer?
We may.
Did I lose it?
You did.
Oh no! I thought I put it in my pocket next to my headphones.
Headphones are still there, Mila.
Al raises an eyebrow, slightly impressed that the hammer would fit in a pocket.
Mila has her ways.
Yeah.
Mostly shoving. You now notice that there's a hole at the bottom of the bag where the hammer usually sticks out.
Al will say, I really, really hate losing a neuroblade, but honestly, like I said, it's not worth getting into a war over.
A neuroblade isn't a hammer, Al.
No, it's not.
It's a blade that you use.
As always, Mila, you are right on the dot.
I know, it's because I'm smart.
Al nods.
Mila just looks proud.
Well, do we want to shake some things up and try and get the hammer back, or do we want to hold off for now?
Well,
Mila will grab Tom by the shoulders and then start shaking him. Like this?
Al will say, we shouldn't have to shake things up too much. If this guy really is a friend of our friend, it mostly should just be a matter of purchasing it back.
But out of character, if I'm recalling correctly, this is the guy that's in charge of the Needlers, correct?
Nope. No, you are remembering incorrectly. But what I can do is I was going to have sign in read this off, because not read it off, but to inform you a little bit more about Freakman, and I was going to just read directly from my little tour guide thingy that I did. So I can reiterate that for you if you guys like.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see here. Sign-in's guide to Outcast Station. Freakman. So I'm going to just do this in character because it's fun. I don't know about you guys, but some freebooters and indies come to Outcast looking for recreational drugs. So if that's what you're looking for, or I guess what you're really looking for is that hammer, well, the best and safest place to get anything like that is from Freakman. The guy who runs the place also goes by the name Freakman, and he's an ex-Leitka with these implants in his head. He's kind of creepy, but he runs things, real professional-like. Oh, by the way, about 16 months ago, the Needle Band tried to run him out of his own shop, and he took out 6 of them in a period of like a few minutes, caused this really, really big stir, and they haven't tried again since, and neither has anyone else. So as long as you're not looking to rob him, he'll typically give you what you're looking for.
That's right. He was related to them somehow, and that was it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can go and talk to him.
Sure.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get the hammer back and everything's all hunky-dory.
And hey, who knows? Maybe he has a knife too. I mean, the knife isn't quite as noticeable as the hammer. So.
Well, it's got a big, huge button on it, doesn't it?
It's kind of flush with the base. It would actually be kind of hard to see. You would see it if you were really looking, sure, but it's not like a big giant red button.
Oh, okay.
Al would show Tom his dagger, and it's kind of like it's like part of the hilt has like a square line on it, and you kind of just depress it.
So what would you guys like to do?
Let's go talk to. You just said his name.
Freakman.
Freakman, yes.
He's so freaky.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh boy!
All right. So I'll set the scene here for you guys, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Simon, once again, takes you through the maze-like labyrinth tunnels of Outcast Station. And interestingly enough, from the bright little stars, Freakman, the store and the man himself, isn't too far away. It's only about 7-minute journey, but it's mostly down. In fact, many of the shafts that you have to drop into are quite a bit of a drop. Nothing enough to injure yourselves, but we're talking about maybe 8 feet or so. Suffice to say, you find this little cubbyhole kind of interjected in the hallway. So against the wall itself, there's probably about like a 2-foot by 2-foot hole into the ground. Almost looking like a giant rodent made it, right? It's chewed through. There's these metal kind of inlays into it. And on top of this little 2-foot by 2-foot hole, it looks like someone has just scratched into the wall itself with some sort of knife, probably a vibroblade, Freakman. And painted over the scratches are neon pink letters. Simon kind of scratches his nose a little bit and he goes, well, that's the only way in. Do you want to just follow me, he says, and he gets on his hands and knees and tucks himself in to make sure he doesn't scratch against the jagged edges of this hole, and he starts heading on in. Do you guys follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. None of you are so corpulent that you would catch on the jagged edges. All right. But as you file in, one by one, you see a unique storefront. The room itself, the primary room, I guess you could say the lobby, for lack of a better word, is about 20 feet square. But about 10 feet of it, almost directly on the 10 feet line, there is this wall behind it. And the wall is made of this clear plexiglass material. And beyond the plexiglass are two major things. You can see a variety of shelves and containers, all labeled in a mishmashed way. But near the center, beyond this plexiglass, you see a single individual whom is quite striking in several ways. The first is that he is, of course, a man, and he is probably a good 6'5" tall. He is pretty lean. In fact, you can see when he flexes his fists together, you can kind of see the veins pop out in his forearms. And his neck, in particular, is very strainy. But the most remarkable feature of this fellow is the sheer amount of hair this man has, especially on the top of his head. He has a dark black hair, but there are random streaks of blue highlights throughout this entire thing. And the hair itself weaves itself almost into like a cone or a beehive on the top of his head before it even continues to flow down on his shoulders and beyond. Through this mess of hair, you can see wild green eyes looking at you as you enter his shop. And he says, in a decidedly Russian-esque accent, "Oh, hello, come in. What can Freakman get for you? Yes, you looking to fly?"
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Bruno.
Yes.
Can you describe his nose, please?
Of course.
Thank
Of
you.
course.
Thank you.
Freakman's nose. I'm gonna have to look at like 100 pictures of noses. But Freakman's nose is a squat, short thing with very large flaring nostrils that actually flare when he speaks.
Ooh, Milo
Yeah.
watches intently at the flaring nostrils,
Oh, wonderful.
slightly in awe.
Of course.
Anyone else? Mila's
He
just
stares
standing
at-
there drooling,
Yeah,
looking at this guy's nostrils.
I guess Al would say, actually, we're looking for a particular item.
Oh, good. I have all sorts of items. Where you want the item to go? Up nose, in veins, inhale through mouth.
Up nose. Mila raises her hand.
Up nose, then white hot halo lets the pretty one fly. Yes.
Al gently pulls Mila's hand back down and says,
She's still staring in awe.
Al says, actually, we're looking for a hammer with bones on it.
Hammer with bow. Oh, I see. Word has got out, hasn't it? As I sound suddenly French all of a sudden.
Oh, he really is Freakman.
He is Freakman. Anyway, no, let me reset. Let me reset my brain. Oh. I can't do it. Oh. Okay, no. I can't do it now. Wait a second. Give me a moment. I have to mute myself and get back in character.
I think it was the nose that threw him off. But it had to be asked.
It had
It
to
had
be.
to be the nose.
How could you not ask?
I know, right? Like, it's important to me, and it should be important to you guys. I don't know why you don't ask.
So you have heard of my newest thing, huh? Word has got out. I haven't even beaten a needler with it yet.
It hasn't got out in the way you think. It was actually stolen from us and sold to you, of course, unknowingly. But it was taken from our friend here.
Oh, things in this place pass one hand to another. It is mine now. You understand, yes?
Al nods and says, of course, and we wouldn't be able to prove it even if we tried. We're interested in purchasing it from you.
Oh, I see. And he purses his lips as he says, one moment. And with that, he steps beyond your sight. Clearly, this large lobby that you're in isn't the only room of this establishment. He exits to a door to the left of you. And you hear a little bit of clamoring around and some strange curses in a tongue that none of you speak. Before he emerges, and he starts swinging like it's a cane. Hammer as he goes in. He goes, "Is this it?" And he taps it against the transparent glass. I mean, transparent plastic.
I was gonna say, can Al, while he's searching for the hammer, can Al quietly say something to Mila?
Of course.
Al would say, "Mila, I need you to pretend to be very, very sad."
Pretend. What, Al? Did you say something?
Yes, I need you to pretend to be very, very sad so we can get your hammer back. Imagine if you never got your hammer back at all.
Okay, I can pretend to be very sad because I am very sad.
Al feels bad on the inside.
As he steps out. Why, pretty lady, cry, huh?
I'm never gonna see my hammer again.
No, see, and he taps it on the glass. See, you see hammer.
Is that her hammer?
It is 100% her hammer. Her hammer.
You found it.
Yes, but it's my hammer now. You were going to try to buy it from me.
Okay, I'll try, but that hammer was given to me by a very special person who I can't remember right now, but if I did, I'd be even more upset than I am right now.
Roll me D100.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I'll give him the money.
Thank you for that.
He looks at you for a moment. He goes, Well, you want to stop pretty girl crying? You have to give me some money for this. And I have to say, I spent a lot on it. It's a nice hammer. I wanted to put it right there, he says, and he poses to an empty spot above the dozens and dozens of shelves that he has. I wanted to put it right up there. Show people what I have in case they try to break through this glass again, huh?
I completely understand. What were you thinking of for it?
Oh, no. That's not how this works. No, you offer me price. I tell you whether it's good or not. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent so you can use it on me. No. Rickman's smarter than that. You make me offer. I tell you whether it's good or bad.
So, you can't...
I'm going to... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can't tell us how much you paid for it? This hammer is priceless. Surely the number you paid, it must have been such a great amount.
Before I give Freakman's reaction, what did you want to do, Burn?
I'm just going to whisper to Al, we have like 30 grand on us. That's our cap.
And
Al will nod.
as Mila is doing that, she's going to try and read this guy's surface thoughts.
Oh, interesting. Gotta look up something real quick. This'll take 2 shakes of a lammy's tail. Oh, fuck, guys, I'm sorry. This session I'm supposed to give you experience. I'll give you bonus experience for being so patient. I knew I fucking forgot something this week. God damn it.
Al is like, I feel even stronger for being patient somehow.
No, you know what I mean. Anyways.
Yeah.
My meditation is like working.
Extra.
Yay.
My
Extra.
meditation is like groovy, man.
Right?
Okay, alright. I know. Okay. You get nothing.
Damn it!
Unfortunately.
Oh, damn
Like
it!
not even a glimmer.
Fuck.
Yep.
Al will kind of nod to Burn and then walk up closer to Freakman and say, kind of in a quiet voice, I get you're a business and you have to run.
What? What? You have to speak louder. I have to hear you through glass.
I get that you have a business to run and you paid fairly for that. I understand.
As you're talking, he gets up even closer and he presses an ear against the thing, and you actually can see he has hairs inside of his ears, and you could swear that one of the strands is also dyed blue.
Oh. File that away for nightmares later.
Yep. Happy Halloween, fucker.
Al says, all right, I can see that you're not one for haggling, or at least far beyond my abilities to do it. We have 5,000 credits, or 5,000 ice is all we have.
That's too bad. That's exactly how much I spent, and I need to have some sort of favor for giving it to you.
Look, I understand, but without that hammer that was given to her, she's never going to fly again. Maybe you can find it in your heart.
I give her a white hot halo. She'll fly. She'll fly all the time.
Look, you seem like a kind, generous man. It
Really?
means the world to her. Can't you just see maybe making it an even deal so that you don't lose anything and you get to go to bed knowing that you made someone's life better?
He furrows his brow at you and he says, "What the hell are you talking about? I run business. I buy things for less than I sell. I'm not going to give you a hammer because you have sad story. I'm sorry."
I understand. And
Tell you what, you don't have ice. Maybe you do favor for me,
Al says we were leaving soon. I don't know if we could do a favor.
Well, then I don't know if you could hammer. Tell you what, 5,000 ice and favor you get. Or more ice, or you find more ice and you give it to me.
Al kind of looks at the others and says, all right, maybe if I give up my seat, how about 7,000 ice?
You asking me?
Yes.
7,000.
It'll mean giving up my seat on the ship, but it's worth it for her.
I don't care. He takes a look at long time. He looks at the hammer. He looks at you. He looks at the hammer. He looks at Mila. He paces back and forth. He looks at the hammer. He puts the hammer back on the top of the shelf. At the top area, the blank area of the top shelf. He looks at it. Takes it down. Looks at Mila again. Al, Mila, I'd like you both to roll me a D100, please. Okay, 7,000.
Thank you.
We have deal. Okay, you put ice card here, and you can see he kicks something at his feet, and a little shelf pops out at the very bottom of this plexiglass wall. You put card in there. Make sure it has 7,000 ice in it. Then I put in hammer, and you take.
Okay. Al will transfer so that there's a card that has 7,000 on it, and as he puts it in, he'll say, we will need the card back, of course.
Freakman looks at you like, kind of gives you a no shit look underneath the weaves of hair the man has. And goes, "Yes, it will come with hammer."
Thank you.
You
Thank
can
you
check
so
this out.
much. And he'll put the card in the drawer.
And he takes the card and go this, and as he's transferring the money, he says, "You sure you don't want any other service? Yes, got crystalline in, real good. Maybe make up for you not making flight. Maybe you fly another way. Yes."
We don't have any more ice, but I appreciate the offer.
Oh, you could always find more ice. Maybe things that you have in exchange. I don't just take ice. And he soon you can see here with a clang, you see your card, your ice card, is thrown into the drawer on his side, and for a moment he takes a look at the hammer, and you hear him go, "Oh, babushka." Ugh. And then he gives the head of the hammer a little kiss, and then he sets it down into the drawer. He kind of waves it goodbye as he slides the drawer over to your side. One last deal, though. Because I'm so nice to you, you tell everybody you know, go see Freakman. He make you happy. Yes.
I promise. I will tell everyone I know to come see you.
Good. Word of mouth. Very important. Can't put anything on link. Disappear immediately.
Everyone.
Stupid.
He nods and he goes, "Everyone I truly know will hear of you." And he nods and he takes the hammer and gives it, and the card, and gives the hammer to Mila.
Good.
Mila embraces the hammer.
Okay. Good. Okay, you go now. He says as he waves you away.
As we leave the store, Al says, "Hey, people I truly know, you should go see Freakman sometime."
Who?
Never mind.
"I Freakman!" Freakman yells as you exit the building on all fours. Oh, Freakman, I love you.
He's pretty good. I liked him.